Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. It'll take just 1 second. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. I hope you're doing well, hope your weekend is going great. We're gonna get started by taking a look at the market and taking a look at some ideas, swing ideas for next week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. Link is right below the video. But without further ado, let's turn to the charts and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you have any questions for us, reach out by email in customer service, info@t3live.com, info@t3live.com. So here we go again. Last week I said, you might have seen the thumbnail picture for the video was like that, right? With my thumb pointing down, because I said the market is rolling over, bearish, and that's how it looked last week on the market, how the market looked. And then as you can see, we rolled over. That's the Qs. Here's the was that the Qs or the SPY? Whatever. That's the Qs. Actually, the Qs has a head and shoulders pattern. If you look at it, boom, boom, and then we broke down. Okay, we broke the neckline. So we actually have a classic head and shoulders pattern. What's a head and shoulders pattern? It's nothing but a breakout failure. So the pop, and then you can kind of say the base breakdown. I probably wouldn't even need to redraw the thing when it comes to the SPY. It's the same exact thing. So we have a breakout failure, and then the market rolled over. Now we're in a difficult spot because we're right at that 20 MA on the weekly chart. See it? But do I think we will eventually break under it? Yes. This is a 45-degree rising 20. Those are the strongest. When you have an absolute 20 period moving average that's coming from the left part of the chart, to left corner of the chart, to the upper right corner, that's the best moving average you can get, the best kind of trend you can get. So we're right at it, and every single time the last I don't know, since we bottom and retested the moving average, every single time it held. We broke under it by a little bit here, but ended up holding. Broke under it by a little bit, ended up going back up. This time I think it's gonna be different. That's my prediction. Okay, and I'm short the Qs from about 390. I actually have my account open, 395.54. I got it in this account. As you can see, it's up 5,800 bucks from 395.54. I actually tried to get short 800 shares, but it was a tight limit order with a hot key. So I gave it 3 cents only below the bid, and it only filled me 450. So it's a pity because it ended up being a nice trade, but it would have been even better if I got filled 800. It would be almost I should be up over 10k on the trade, but it is what it is. And now I think the market is lower. We're gonna probably get some back and forth because of that 20 MA on the weekly chart, but I'm thinking the market is lower. It's tough to say exactly what the bottom is gonna be. For now, the next support area on the daily chart of the Qs is about 360 or so. Okay, on the SPY is about, not sure, 435. So ultimately, if this is gonna be the top, if this is the top, we would expect the market to retest the 20 on the monthly. Okay, ultimately, but that's a long ways from now. Okay, long ways away, but we'd expect ultimately the SPY and the Qs to retest that 20 MA on the monthly. In terms of my Qs position, I'm gonna be probably looking to cover it if we get down to the support area here. Okay, and it depends on what the market does and how it gets there. Do we get multiple bars in a row, red bars in a row? do we get red green? If we get one red bar, then followed by a green bar, then red bar, that's sustainable usually. If we get just multiple red bars in a row, that's not sustainable. And I don't think we'll be getting multiple red bars in a row though, because of what I said about that rising 20 MA on the weekly chart, that blue line. I think it'll be a lot of back and forth, and eventually we might make it to the 20 on the monthly. Again, that's a long ways from now, so we'll be discussing it every week together. Here's the bullish list for tomorrow, for Monday. It's not much of a bullish list. If you're a subscriber to my newsletter, there's two. I was gonna say there's only one trade for tomorrow. There's two that I called, and if you want to log on to your T3 Live account, you'll see which ones I'm gonna be playing myself. Okay, the newsletter has been updated. If you'd rather wait for the email, then it shall hit your inbox by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning. I like the ACI over the base. Stop under it, long. As you can see, unaffected by the sell-off in the market. Okay, that's Albertsons, the grocery store. Consumer defensive stocks are gonna do well. They usually hold up when the market turns bearish, because that's what people go to, like Procter & Gamble, ABT, Abbott. Abbott is a healthcare stock, but looks higher to me. So ACI, Albertsons. This is a nice, really bullish base on the CIEN. It's a tech stock, but wow, it is not budging at all with the market. So over the base, long, stop under that green bar. So just go to the highest point, and in this case it's 62.56, above it. I like the entry above it, and then if it takes it out, obviously, and then the stop would go under 59.89. okay, on the CN all-time high. So I would know what maybe not all-time high. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't think it is, but notice it's breaking over a 2-decade base. I mean, during the tech bubble, this thing went up to $1,000. It probably never went up to $1,000, but they've had a lot of reverse splits. So a lot of room to go if it really gets going, the CN. So I like it. The CNTB is also not budging with the market drop. So if it takes out the base, if you look at the hourly chart, there's a nice base right here. If it takes it out, that would be interesting. Over 485, 483. Looks higher, stop under the lows. And if it takes out if it breaks under the base, then probably lower. LEN had a really bullish gap last week. It ended up not going anywhere. Probably the market crashed that day. And then it popped the next day, and now we have a red bar. So if it takes out 114.67, I like it higher, with a stop under 111 on the LEN. That's a home builder, and that's Bitcoin. It's dumping a little bit. So we have a sell setup in Bitcoin. I was a little bit early last week, but I told you Bitcoin was bearish, right? It collapsed. Was it just yesterday or the day before? The day before, I think. Total collapse. If you saw that, I was just maybe a day early, but then it collapsed. OLMA. I was thinking last week on the OLMA as a short, 1, 2, 3 short, but it didn't trigger, and instead it now looks higher. So I like it higher over Friday's high, over the base, stop under it right here, and target 1 would be the red bar's high, and then target 2 really it has room to like $20. I'm not expecting it to get there, but one can manage it bar by bar. Okay, on the OLMA. PSTG also basing at the highs, looks higher over the base, stop under it, a little bit sloppy, but if it takes out 32.60, stop under 30.70, I like it higher. On to the bearish list. Now the bearish items, they're good, but I have a lot already, a lot of positions. So I don't know if I want to add much more to what I have. Okay, which was played as an earnings play, short. On Wednesday, held it through Thursday, so we benefited from the gap down. We had the DAQ short yesterday. Would you believe? We did. Okay, this was an earnings play yesterday. Not just that, we had the OLI, we had, which was a 20+% gap. We had Domo short 25%. We had ASA, I forgot the symbol. ASAN maybe? ASAN short, I think it was 26%. So we had an amazing day on Friday. But back to the regular swings, not the earnings plays. Short under the base on EH, stop above 18. Okay, looks lower to, I mean, it has plenty of room. Looks lower to really ultimately to $8-9. Ultimately, will it get there in a week or two? No, it'll take a while. But looks lower to about $8 or $9 ultimately. NLOK, it looks decent under the double bottom there, so it would be under 23.67, and I would target about $22, and then stop just over these two bars, the high of these two bars, which would be 24.27 on the NLOK. RDHL triggered already on Friday, but I still like it lower if it can break 247 short. Stop over 315. Kind of a big stop, but it's also kind of a longer term hold. All-time low, so no target, no predetermined target. TOK, I wasn't sure whether this was going to be higher or lower last week, because I kind of like the weekly chart to go higher over that bar's high. Never played it, and now it looks lower. So it just needs to break $2. Like it short under 2. Stop can be put either over 214, so at 216, or over 233, safer, but bigger. The larger the stop, the smaller the share size, of course. TOST is also similar to the NLOK. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the breakdown bar, a couple of inside bars, and then maybe continuation lower. So TOST, the breakdown bar, a couple of, I can't call them inside bars, but this must be based on the hourly chart, sort of. So under those bars, short, stop above. So under 32.20, stop would be over 36.20, about a $4 stop, and then no target since it's at all-time lows. VIPs got away from me, so I feel it's a little bit late. I shorted the VIPs, I think this day, and then I took a stop the next day. Okay, it gapped up a little bit. The stop was above the base, but I had lowered it, and now it's going. I have other, we have bunch of other Chinese stocks short, like IQ crashing, a bunch. DMNR, I thought it was DMNR. DNMR maybe? Yeah, DNMR. So we have a bunch of other Chinese stocks short. I don't even know if this is, that doesn't look like Chinese. I know the IQ is Chinese. But VIPs, I also like short to $6, but it triggered already on Friday and I didn't get it. At any rate, like it under 8.97 short with a stop over 10.20. So it's a big stop, $1.50. Last but not least is the ZVIA short under the base, stop over this recent base. So entry would be under about 712 it looks like, with the stop being over 790, 789, and then at all-time low, so no target, no predetermined target. And that's it. Kind of a short list for tomorrow. I think the market is going to be very volatile over the coming days. We have conflicting time frames between the daily and the weekly. The weekly still is maintaining that uptrend. The daily is breaking down. So I'm expecting a choppy, wild market, a lot of big move ups, big move downs. We'll see. But I'm bearish for now, hence the red t-shirt. At any rate, hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and good luck with your trading next week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.